While I'm setting up the stream, I'm watching The Practice on one of those. It's a very, very, very good show, The Practice. But I'm watching it on one of those thingy apps, piracy, straight up piracy apps. Am I allowed to say that? Is that hello? And it because my main one isn't working at the moment because I got server stuff going on. This one has ads playing every few seconds, and that it overheats. It overheats my phone and makes everything really slow. So when an ad pops up, I try to really quickly turn down the volume because the volume on the ads are obviously because of course they're way louder than the volume on the actual video. So so this deafening AI voice telling me about another app that I can use to watch movies and stuff for free in like I don't know, like an Eastern European accent, not even synced to the video that's of the person who's supposedly pitching the app, the app to me, and then I have downloaded kind of like all the apps like that, that that exist because of these ads, and like none of them, barely any of them even work, but a lot of them straight up just don't do what they advertise. That they don't allow you to watch movies and stuff for free. Either you have to pay them, or you can only watch like live things as if you have a TV on your phone. But that's stupid. No, I want to watch things from like the 90s and early 2000s and stuff. Anyway, yeah, so I kind of just got ear raped right there while setting up the stream. I will take my phone out, not my phone out, my earphones out. That's what I'm talking about. So this one, I hope, should be more of a structured thing because I have actually prepared. I've made a thumbnail. I've made one thing I'll always remember is I think it was Asmongold. He said about the purple hair bitch while they give her Thugnificent. Who's Thugnificent? I will look that up. There. I I haven't watched the Boondocks. Oh my word, that's that's really funny. um, but yeah, we'll get to that. It's playing ads even when I'm not even playing the thing, like the thing that I'm watching. What the fuck? Okay. So I've spent kind of the last not even an hour because I'm me. I left everything to the last minute. So I've spent like the last 20 minutes setting up the stream and finding images and things for me to use on stream. And I actually found now I'll get to that. So I'd like to go through. Hang on, I'll have a drink of water. go through the reasons why Concord fails and why other things succeed, and actually pinpoint the where things went wrong and the kind of design philosophy that really screwed the game over. Because no one talks about how good the actual gameplay of Concord is, because no one really cares. I saw one person talking about the gameplay, and they pointed out that it was just a classic, just bog standard hero shooter, which bog standard is fine, classic is fine. I would say that innovation is a good thing to do, but it's not a requirement. It is fine to just make a game that follows the normal formulas, and formulaic is fine. It's fine to make a game that doesn't really do anything new, but does the normal things solidly. A solid, workable, good time, nothing really special, but solid. Solid is the main word. A solid gaming experience. Yeah, the gameplay is so basic it's not even worth mentioning. That's the thing. A lot of the time in games, if the game is kind of average, like Concord, if the game itself, if you strip away all of the details, all the surface level stuff, or surface level in air quotes, if you strip away the visuals or the story or anything around it, or the style, anything else around the game, and if you leave it to like the blocks moving around and the physics, like in early game dev, I watch a lot of game dev dev logs, and they show when they're in the early stages, there are just like rectangles moving around in a map with no textures or anything, and they use that stage of development when trying to make the gameplay itself in its bare bones, no style or anything, just these polygons and shapes moving around, to make sure that in its bare essentials the game itself is fun. If that isn't particularly noteworthy, if there's nothing really to write home about when the game is at its bare essentials, then you need something else to draw people in. You need something surface level, air quotes, because I'll get into why surface level isn't surface level. Surface level can actually be very deep, and I'll talk about that in other streams and other videos as well. You need, if I know I repeat myself a lot, but it's because I'm trying to get a grasp on like a direction to go with my train of thoughts. If the bare essentials of the game are nothing to write home about, you need something surface level or something stylistic or something else to draw people in. If it's not a specific game mechanic that makes your game stand out, then it has to be something stylistic or something genre-y, or the story, like Destiny. Destiny is a very, 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 very simple looter shooter game. There's nothing really to write home about the actual gameplay. The only really unique thing is that there's like the power up system and different powers you can use in different classes and stuff. But even then, it's nothing that we haven't seen before. But something that Destiny does very well is the style. You can see, especially in the maps and in the character customization, the art direction for Destiny. I should have got like Destiny. Not the streamer Destiny. No, the game, the games. I should have gotten Destiny as example. So I'll get some Destiny game maps. And also the music, the music in some of the sections, like the space section. I think it's Deep Stone Lullaby is the song. Really good, really good song. Yeah, I'll bring up the. Oh no, that's me. That's also no. There we go. Yeah, stop. Show me. Okay. Yeah. So this is what I mean. The area, the colors are really good in Destiny's area design. I need to find some. There are specific examples like this with the red shrubbery, the blue sky, and the white structures. That's really good. Or the rust, the deep red rust, and the greenish light coming in from the sky on the rust on the white. I'm bad at talking on the white structures. Really good use of contrast and color. I know it's popular to rag on Destiny, and you should, because they're. Hang on. Sorry, I just got asked about dinner plans. um, yeah, I know it's popular to rag on Destiny, and rightfully so. It really is very much a. Uh, it's very much looter shooter slop. But if you could grab the artists from Destiny and the concept artists and put them towards a good game, where's I need to find that one. There's a really good kind of gothic area with red flowers and stuff that's really beautiful that I can't find right now. Um, Here it is. What is this? Nessus Landing Zone. Um, the zone. Yeah, the it's very simple. This use of the white stone and uh, the red foliage, but it's a kind of orange red. It is really memorable and really unique. It's not a color combination that you see a lot of the time, especially in area design. But imagine if we could grab the the artists from Destiny and have them work on like a Souls like or something. Anyway, uh, what was I even talking about? Yeah, that's one of the things, and along with that's one of the things that draws people to Destiny, where they wouldn't be drawn to Concord. With Concord, there is nothing. There is no. It's not that there is nothing to draw you in. It is quite literally that there is only repellent. There is only things to discourage you from playing the game. I got. I think some Destiny devs worked on Concord. What the fuck happened? Uh, Probably not. Not well. I hope none of the artists, but it could be like the rest of the team maybe. But what was I gonna say? Yeah, I know. I keep like. Oh yes. Oh, what's that game called? Oh yes, Thymesia. Thymesia. Open image, and then go to view. Yeah, there we go. Look at that. Really not, really not zoomed in. Look at this. It's pitched a lot of the time as Plague Doctor Bloodborne, but in reality it's actually more Ghost of Tsushima than Bloodborne. But look at this. Plague Doctors have like people were talking about recently about the Black Death. Like people were dying all around them, and plague doctors were aura farming, and it is really accurate. But this is the pitch. You play as a plague doctor and fight like in a Souls. Like immediately neuron activation. Immediately you're going, ooh, that's interesting. Immediately you're drawn in because there is something there. There is something actually appealing about the idea of looking like that. People dismiss cosmetics as surface level, but no, we'll get on to that. I keep getting ahead of myself. If you take two games, if you take two generic, let's say looter shooters, or let's say Souls-like, or first-person shooters, or tactical RTSs, but you change the style, or if you change the art direction, or if you change the theme from something boring or bland or repellent or overdone to something endearing or something attractive or something with aura, something with drip, something that is appealing to a player. It's basic logic. Obviously, the game with more that is appealing about it is going to be more successful. But anyway, that's really a basic thing, and I really it baffles me that it was a AAA game, wasn't it? Hang on. Yeah, Sony was behind this. Like blood. How am I like literally? I did a 2-year college course on games design and animation, but I learned literally nothing. It is the definition of a worthless degree. But I am literally just a guy. I'm just a guy in his room who can't leave the house. Like I'm just a weird dude. I'm just a goblin, but I somehow have more logic, or I guess I have more knowledge than actual like industry veterans or whoever. I have more understanding of what people want than people who actually work in the industry. But I don't say that as like I joke a lot that like I would make like a great like prime minister or something of England, but the truth is that's not really a brag. That's just a basic fact about the majority of people. It's not that I have any special insight. Well, I do a bit, but I don't have like divine wisdom that like is inaccessible to most people. These are really basic statements that most people come to if they just think. The reason why I have I am just a boy. The reason why I have more knowledge than other people is just because I think more. I have more time to think, and like my brain like doesn't let me not. But what am I talking about? I'm getting lost. It's silly that I have to say these really, really basic things. These things that if you are paid, I'm not getting paid here. I don't get paid for anything. I am a NEET. If you're getting paid for something, you should know this really, really basic stuff of the really basic fact that people will like the thing more if it looks nice. And like maybe like me and like my peers in the audience are more in touch with what people want because we are the people who are wanting. We are the audience. We are the potential customer, and then therefore, like, yeah, obviously we're going to have a bit more of a finger on the pulse of what the audience or what the people clamour for. But it with with uh oh no with this it really reveals a disconnect. There should not be this much of a disconnect between what the common people want, what your potential audience wants, and what the people in the industry think people want. Because no one wants this. people talk about the modern audience, or people talk about the like trying to covet a specific audience, or people ask the question, who was this made for, talking about X piece of media. And the question needs to be asked, because quite a lot of the time there isn't an answer. It's because these devs aren't fans of games, they're more interested in being influenced, i.e. influencing public thought. That is quite possibly true. I have not seen, or I might have seen and then forgotten something about the people behind the scenes. But anyway, I am going... Oh, that's the wrong mouse. I'm going to actually go through examples of the failures of Concord, or the... Stop. There, yeah. I need to label these things in OBS. You have this sources tab that determines like what you want on screen. I have them listed as window, image, window, video capture, audio, audio input, image. So if I just click around randomly, I in order to make the thing I want appear or disappear, I just click around randomly, which is really not what you should do. But anyway, I was actually surprised that there is a fandom page. Oh, that's something. I'm actually really... I know that fandom is kind of crap, but it's a useful resource for like in the moment. Like what I mainly use it for is finding the names of characters that I've forgotten, so I can find the show or whatever and go into the character list, and then I can immediately find the character that I'm looking for, and that's it. That's kind of what all the fandom is used for, at least by me. But on my phone or on my laptop, every time I open fandom, it just crashes. It crashes my entire machine. So it's actually really nice to be able to use this actually kind of shit website without like bricking my technology. But anyway, I was actually quite surprised that there's even a fandom page. But do you know what's really funny? Because I need, for this stream, because I'm talking about the characters and the character designs, I need to show you images of the characters on my video. And look, there's the contents list in fandom, so it'll have the character list. So if I click on characters, do you want to know what happens? I get a list. Now that's really which might seem obvious if you haven't used fandom before, but the thing is, every other IP, every other property that has a fandom page, if it has a character list, if it has a character chapter, every character will have a link to their dedicated profile page. Concord doesn't. Concord just has this tiny paragraph for each character. This is all they have, and they have the images down here, but they have one image each. They have one image of each character. In every other fandom page, every other fandom page has the character chapter, and in the character chapter it has the list of characters and has links to to dedicated pages for the characters, but not Concord. They did the bare minimum because no one cares. Because no one cares about this property. No one cares about this story. No one cares about this this game. It is quite literally the quintessential example of a dud. Forever, this game will be pointed at as an example of what not to do by every conceivable metric, by every conceivable standard, in every conceivable way. Every video essay about like criticizing or praising any game in the future will have a mention, will have like an asterisk saying like dedicated to how Concord did it worse, or how you should look at Concord as examples of what not to do. But the thing is that I know. Hello, Ven. How are you doing? You just missed a bit of a ramble, but no, this whole thing is a ramble, so you haven't missed anything. I'm talking about the game Concord and how they fail. So and how they failed in character design and failed as just as a property. You'll recover. What happened? Are you ill or something? Oh no, are you saying you'll recover by watching? I don't know what you mean. I never know what you mean. No, the vid. Okay. That's what I thought. So it's actually really okay. Yeah, I'll stop beating around the bush and go through specific examples of the characters, but I do kind of want to take a moment to appreciate, kind of like soak in the fact that this is all they could do. This is everything. And like that was the like are they trying to make a show or something? Like there was that other like cinematic trailer that showed off characters that weren't in the game as if to promote like the next season of characters that they're going to introduce to the game, because they actually expected this Drek to succeed. Anyway, ridiculous. Hang on, why do you jump all the way there? Yeah. Anyway, okay, let's go through the actual things. So there's this. This is actually, I would say, probably the least offensive character design out of all of them, because it is literally just a barrel. Like a massive problem. I've mentioned this phrase a few times in streams and a couple of times on Twitter. Mental shelf space. You want your design, you want your game, you want your property, you want your piece of work to take up mental shelf space, and you want the people who you want your preferred audience to want your piece of work to take up mental shelf space. You want it to be memorable, and you want it to occupy a space in their mind. And a difference in the way, and a difference in the way that people design main characters and background characters is that they dedicate more to the main characters. Obviously, if you put as much effort into the background characters, into every background character as you had the main characters, then you're either going to end up with a massive clusterfuck of every character on screen, like in a crowd being really overexposed and really over detailed, and you'll either end up with a mess, or you'll end up with you'll end up dedicating way too much time to stuff that you shouldn't, and what a lot of people behind big budget projects seem to not understand is that you are working with limited time and limited resources. Even when you have a massive budget, you are still working with limitations. You are still working within boundaries, and that's by the way, that's a good thing. It's a good thing to have limitations, because that forces you to innovate. But you see something like Thor: Love and Thunder, and I shared the video of how Taika Waititi always wanted to, he kept wanting to change the CGI in post, like after the fact, after having changed everything, and so it ended up in such a fucking messy, disgusting, and way overworking the animators, and just ending up really crap because they didn't have a plan, because they don't understand that time is a limited resource. It doesn't matter how much money you have, you still have limited time. So where was I going with that? Yeah, you need to dedicate your time and your effort into the most important things. You need to organize. You need a plan. I've said this multiple times, but having a plan set out beforehand is one of the most important parts of creating anything. So you need to allocate. That's the word. You need to allocate your resources and allocate your time efficiently and sensibly, by putting a lot of effort into your main characters and then not much effort into your background characters, but not too much effort that they just kind of become like obvious NPCs. Cough cough, Ruby, cough cough. But the thing is, Concord did the opposite. Somehow they managed to use the design philosophy of background characters for their main characters. Agree, but when the plan is bad from the beginning, there is little to be saved. Yeah. Concord should be studied in classes for what not to do. Sonny honest thought this was going to be as big as Star Wars, and the only design people like... Yeah. What was I going to say? Yeah. Somehow Concord... Yes. Sorry, a million thoughts just ran through my head all at once. God damn it. In a hero shooter, the operative word is hero. Like, I'm going to talk about Marvel Rivals later, but that's described as a hero shooter, even though there isn't actually much shooting. I think only Punisher is the only one with a gun. But there are ranged characters, but it's not necessarily a shooter. It's a hero game, but it's described as a hero shooter. And the same with Overwatch. There are melee characters and characters that don't use guns. There's the one with the katana. There's the one with the bow. Well, I guess a bow is a shooter. Whatever. The operative word is hero. The operative function, the thing that people come to your game for, is the hero. The thing that people come to your game for is the characters. People are moving around outside, so I don't know if they're like coming to my door. Anyway, what people come to your game for is the characters. If you're making a hero shooter, it's the same with most games except like Minecraft. I think Minecraft is the only game that I can think of off the top of my head that people don't go to for the characters. But even then, like there are the cats and like people's dogs and stuff, and like that because they have a cute design, they have kind of a character and you can name them. So there's a little bit of that even in Minecraft. Even in the one example that comes to mind that people don't go to for character design, I can still think of ways that it's kind of the case. Destiny, I guess. I mentioned Destiny before, but I think Destiny really Destiny is the only game I can think of that people don't go for the characters in any way, except like the Queen of the Awoken that loads of people make Rule 34 of. I think, but the thing is, that's kind of the only character apart from the faction leaders. That's the only character I can think of. Like there's the robot Cade 6 who tries really hard to be funny, but no one finds him funny. Everyone just finds the characters either boring or annoying, apart from the Queen of the Awoken, who everyone just sexualizes, and that's it. because people only go to Destiny for the gambling. Like, let's be honest. But that's the only. That is. I'm drawing a blank. Apart from that, I think that's the only game that nobody goes to for the characters. Every other game, at least in a small aspect, even if the main part is even if the main draw is the gameplay or the style or any other aspect of the game, there is still the aspect of the character design that people go to them for. Like what's the game? The shooter thingy, Team Fortress. Everyone goes to Team Fortress for the character designs. Everyone goes to Overwatch for not for the character designs, not for the character designs necessarily, but for the characters, because they're really memorable. That's why they're used in memes all the time. The same with Master Chief in Halo. Everyone remembers Master Chief. He's a really good character. Everyone remembers Cortana. Everyone remembers Sergeant Johnson. Everyone goes to Dark Souls. People remember the NPCs. People remember like the NPCs from Demon Souls. Everyone remembers the NPCs from Elden Ring. Everyone remembers the NPCs from I don't know, Cyberpunk. Anyway, but okay, I'm getting off track. Characters are an important part of everything that involves characters, but they are the most important things in hero shooters, because specific in the genre title is the word hero. Explicit in the name of the genre of the game you're making is the importance of the character, is the importance of the heroes that you are playing. They are the focus of the game. Even in something like an RTS, where you're just moving units around, it's much less important, but they still dedicate a lot of importance to the design of your units. Like, obviously, you're going to take more care of like your like Roman centurion. That, like, if you have like I really want to make an RTS, by the way, where you can design your soldiers' outfit, because it personalizes those soldiers to the player. They become your soldiers. They don't just become the soldiers that have a design that the game gave you. They're not just this kind of unit. They are now your unit. They are now your soldier that you design. They take on a personal aspect if you're allowed to design and give your units a certain aesthetic that you want. I keep getting distracted. RTS, even in RTSs, they still try to make your soldiers look good, and the enemy soldiers look good as well, but good in a way that you want to kill, I guess. Every game understands this. Every good developer and every good artist understands the importance of personalization and of good design. Except the Concord developers, which is this is the point that I've been meandering around. It's especially egregious for the developers of a hero shooter to not focus on the heroes, to not focus on the design of the heroes, to not focus on the design of the characters, especially when it's a hero shooter, which is why it is so egregious, which is why it is such a mind-numbingly stupid move for these developers to use the design philosophy of NPCs, of background characters, for the designs of their main characters. God, that took so long to say. Not me playing Overwatch right now. Oh yeah, you're a mercy main. You're literally a heal slut. Anyway. Okay, what do I mean by background character design philosophy? It is quite self-explanatory. Look at the thing on screen. This, as I said, is the least offensive character design of the lot. Simply because it is kind of just there. Like, imagine you're playing Star Wars. not Star Wars Outlaws, definitely not Star Wars Outlaws. Jedi Survivor or the other the Fallen Order or Jedi. Pardon me, Fallen Order or Jedi Survivor. And you're running around in like a, I don't know, Mos Eisley Cantina style environment, or you're walking through like a scrapyard. You could imagine running past a dozen of these little guys. Like, imagine this droid is just hanging out, like collecting scrap pieces in like a junkyard. In like, oh, what's that? You go to the junkyard planet in The Force Unleashed. And you fight the schizo. You fight the schizophrenic Jedi who like remakes the Jedi Temple out of trash, and like makes the Jedi Council dolls out of trash and like talks to them. God, that's such an interesting like character and concept. Anyway. Oh, don't get distracted. You could imagine running past like a dozen of these guys, like how you run past the R2 units in Fallen Order and in Force Unleashed. You could imagine running past these guys. They blend into the background. Literally with this color would blend into the background of any like of that environment of that planet in The Force Unleashed. But it's just not. It's not main character material. It doesn't have aura. It doesn't have presence. It doesn't grab you. The only reason why you're even looking at it is because it is the biggest thing on screen, like next to me. It's like, oh yeah, look at me. Look at my design. Actually, we can actually compare. We can compare me to this. So I can actually point out the things that I actually made this design years ago, and I want to make different versions of it, but it's really simple. And I can go into kind of the symbology and the thought process that I went into it. I wanted to create a kind of a dichotomy between the wild hair and the smart suit. I wanted to create an idea of simultaneously being wild and messy, but also poised and proper between the wild, unkempt hair and the sharp suit. At the same time, I have the little star patterns on my hands. This immediately draws attention to the hands because in something like this follows a very basic animation principle that Ruby. Oh, I can show you Ruby because I prepared for this stream. I can. Where are you? Yeah, I was gonna go away. I was going to compare Ruby's design later on, but yeah, you can see. Oh no, you can't see because this is annoying. Oh yeah, you can see on this sleeve. There's a little bit of. Oh no, you can't because I'm in the way. Yeah, you can see on this sleeve. There's a hint of red. There's a bit of red on the end of the sleeve, and there's red in the skirt. There's red in the corset. There's red in the top of the cloak on her shoulders. There's red in her hair, and there's red on her boots. And most of the rest of the design is black or very dark grey. And then the white bits are her face and her hands. This means that when she's moving around really fast on screen in a fight scene, your eyes are immediately drawn naturally against your will to the red and the white on her hands and the red on her skirt, the red on her waist, the red on her shoulders, the red in her hair, the white of her face, and the red on her boots. This is a perfect design for fast-paced, highly like stylized and choreographed action scenes because it works well with your brain, with the natural workings of your brain, the way that your eyes work, the ways that your eyes naturally track movements. It means that your eyes do the work for you by naturally following the movements. It means that even if there's like blur, even if you lower the image quality in a fight scene, or even if it's going really fast, or fast enough to be blurry, your eyes naturally easily process the information of what's going on. It basically does the opposite of what a lot of modern fight scenes do when they like intentionally obscure what's happening in the fight scene and just make things really fast to give the illusion of something good or something exciting happening. Old Ruby did the opposite of that. It intentionally held your hand in small ways. It held your hand and helped you to be able to comprehend the really fast, really well choreographed fight scenes that were happening on screen. It helped you because it had confidence in its choreography, and it actually wanted you to pay attention and to actually be able to see what is happening in the fight scene, because the choreography is so good, and they weren't insecure about the choreography. And they weren't insecure about the choreography. That's why, and that's one of the reasons why old Ruby design is really, really, really bloody good, and new Ruby design is just fucking horrible. Like, there are lots of reasons why old Ruby is superior, and loads of reasons why new Ruby is not only inferior but just bad. But this is one of the reasons. Anyway, going back, I'm getting ahead of myself. Looking at me, most of the design is very dark, apart from the mask and the tie, the sash on my waist, and the little star symbols on my hands. The star symbols on my hands are kind of meant to be so that your eyes are drawn to my hand on my chin, and the tie is to stand out, so you can actually like see it's a tie, and a bit of and the sash on my waist is so that your eyes are slightly drawn, but not a lot, but slightly drawn downwards to my waist, so it kind of naturally makes your eyes comprehend the entire image. Otherwise you'd be looking directly into the tie and into my face. And my face, the white mask, the paper, it's supposed to be paper, but the white paper mask with little dots on the right side and the eye, that's the brightest part of the image. That's the brightest part of my avatar, so that your eyes are naturally drawn mostly to that aspect, so that you're looking in my face when I'm talking. But the rest of the color, the rest of the design is still very much designed in such a way that your eyes still look everywhere. What I'm trying to say is, you are trying, with the placement of color, what you are trying to do is make sure that your audience and your viewers' eyes naturally are tracking to, are naturally drawn to where you want them to look on your character. So you put, if your character has a mostly dark design, you put splashes of color in the places where you want them to look. If your character has a mostly dark design, you put splashes of color or splashes of light in the places where you want your audience to look. If your character's design is mostly light and mostly bright or mostly white, you put splashes of darkness or splashes of color in the places you want to look, but not too much or too little, because you want your audience to look at the entire design. If you've put effort into the entire design, you want your audience to be able to comprehend the entire image, but also to focus on specific parts. Meanwhile, the thought process of the robot, I don't know, just make it look like a barrel that would blow up if you shoot at it. Yeah, that's actually a really good point. Explosive barrels in games, they are often either bright orange, bright yellow, bright red, or normal, like dark brown if they're wood, or metal coloured, but they have bits of red, yellow, or orange on them to indicate that they are explosive. But this is the important part. The rest of the map is usually not that brightly coloured, or they are differently coloured in a way that the barrels stand out, so that you can see them really clearly, because the principles of character design also apply to the principles of area design. So that your eyes, the eyes of the player or the eyes of the viewer, are immediately drawn to the barrel in the corner of the room. They're immediately drawn to this incongruousness of this different color, this different shape that's somewhere in the room, so that they can easily identify, that's an explosive barrel, I can use that. Because what you're doing in your design is you are communicating visual information. So yes, I know that's not what you were talking about, but that does actually lead me onto that area design thing, that using contrast of light and dark, or of different colors and different hues, or contrast of levels of different levels of saturation, applies to area design and the interactive aspects of area design. Not just the cosmetic, but the interactive aspects of area design apply just as much to that as character design. I think I messed up that sentence, but you know what I mean. Whereas, yeah, so the reason why I used the example of the trash planet from The Force Unleashed is because that has it has kind of a Breaking Bad filter. It has a very kind of piss yellow. It has the Mexico filter. It has the yellow sky. The environment is made up of yellows, oranges, beiges, browns, blacks, and that's the color palette. So if you were to put this robot guy, or a dozen of the robot guys in that environment, he would blend right in with the background, because he is a background character. He has the design philosophy of a background character. Whereas if you put him in a mostly, let's say, white or mostly blue area, then he would probably act as some kind of explosive barrel. What he is not is main character material. He does not stand out. He stands out from the environment, but he doesn't stand out from other characters. He doesn't stand out from the crowd enough to qualify as main character material. He doesn't have the X factor. He doesn't have it. Anyway, I think a problem with a lot of the design of Concord is that they are so bland and uninteresting that your eyes aren't drawn to any part of it. Period. That is partly true. That is definitely true of the barrel droid, whose name I've already bloody forgot, even though I have the window open and I can't be fucking bothered to look. It's either, with every character design, it's either that they're incredibly bland, or it's that they are offensively ugly in the ways that your eyes are drawn to them, which I'll actually get to. The game wants to be bright and colourful, but everything just looks so dull and muted. There's no bold colour choices, no dark shadows, nothing to give interesting contrast. That is absolutely correct. That's something that I know I bang on about Ruby, but bear with me. That's something that old Ruby did especially well, especially because like the show is named after colours. In Ruby volumes 1 to 3, there was excellent use of colour and contrast, especially use contrast. Everything is in contrast. All of the potential good is in contrast. I said in the other stream, the reason why it's special when Batman smiles is because he never ever smiles. So it's the contrast between his normal state and the state of Batman smiling that makes the specialness. The special is in incongruity. The special is in contrast. The special is in difference between what is normally happening and what is happening now, or the special is in the difference between the two things. It's Baba O'Reilly, the song by The Who. I think that's the one. It goes for ages. This instrumental bit. Then it goes da 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 da, and it just hits so hard because we've been having this great not even gradual build up, but this constant. It sets a baseline. It sets a precedent for what is the natural state with the da 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 da. I know I'm off key. I can't sing. I can't do anything musical. But then I don't want to say subverts the expectations, because that's crap. It breaks the mold, is what I should say, with a da 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 da. It is in the da 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 that you find what is special, and you find what is great, and you find what sticks with you. I used the example of Notos by the Oh Hellos, that bit in the song that I badly sung. That is the part of everything that sticks with you. The parts that stick with you are when Batman smiles. The parts that stick with you are when the song goes from high to low or from quiet to loud. The parts that stick with you are the bits that stand out. And that's what contrast is. That's what contrast at its best is. And that's an excellent observation about Concord, that the entire thing is dull and muted and there's nothing bold about it, because it doesn't set a precedent. It doesn't set a baseline for the way things are and then break it. It just has semi-realistic color use, no specific art direction, and no specific outliers. Everything is just a mess. It is white noise. It is a cacophony of beige. There is nothing in Concord that reaches out and grabs you and pulls you in, apart from the ugly parts. Those are the only parts of Concord that grab you. Those are the only parts that slap you in the face and tell you to look at it. Those are the only parts that like have contrast. The only things that stand out are the things from the baseline of things not being hideous, are the things that are hideous. It's like in no, I won't go there. No. I'll go back to Ruby. An example of Ruby being really good is in the I wonder if there are good examples that I can find. Hang on, I can what's the I'll just say Scorpion. I've forgotten what the Grim Scorpion is called. Deathstalker. That's the word. That's what it's called. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Immediately the first frame. This is very simple. There's this green color. There's this color for the. Immediately we have an example of what I mean. We have the grey, kind of basic grey, but tiles brick to denote or to show structures. This very muted, very kind of beigey brown for the ground, and you have the tree colors, more bricks, and then you have the main characters who have very bright colors. I can already see there's Ruby, there's Yang, there's Weiss. I think that's Blake. I'm guessing that's Blake. There's Pyrrha. That might be Blake, actually. No, that's John in the front, because you can see, even from this far away, it's so blurry that there's literally like 3 pixels. And again, I said before, I'm using a TV screen. This isn't a monitor that I'm using connected to my PC. I'm using a very old, very crap PC, very crap TV. I shouldn't be sitting this close to the TV. It might be damaging my eyes. If I touch the side, there are buttons on the side. It doesn't have a remote. But there are loads of buttons on the side that don't have labels, so if I press anything, it'll change the channel to something else, and I'll never get this back. It'll take me hours to get this back if I touch the side of the side of my TV. But I can still make out, because the design, and because that's the thing, synergy, because they so well, with this very simple design philosophy of the use of contrast and of colour, they synergize this very simple low detail background with the character design. They synergize the character design and the environment design to make a cohesive shit, what's the word? Oh fuck, I'm completely lost. Not product. And to make a cohesive result, I guess. That's not the word that I was thinking of. There's a better word. God, why am I retarded? and then the Nevermore flies. Yeah, really simple. Everybody stands out from the environment. I hope the videos um, audio isn't playing in OBS. Can someone tell me if the YouTube's audio is playing in OBS? By the way, since I'm using a TV screen, everything is super overexposed. Like, there are no lines in Weiss's hair here. Her face and her hair blend together on my screen, but I can see on another screen that it looks a lot better, because it actually looks so awful. It looks awful on my TV, but it still looks like really good. I can still tell, and because I've seen the video before, I know that the design is good. But again, I paused it at a random frame to talk. Okay, there's no audio. Good. I've paused it at a random frame to talk, but you can immediately know. You immediately see exactly what I'm talking about. Your eyes are drawn. This shot only lasts, like, I don't think even 2 seconds. Yeah, I'm struggling to even, like, pause at the moment that I had before, because it passes so quickly. But your eyes are immediately drawn where? Oh yeah, to Weiss's collar, which immediately draws you to her face naturally, and to Blake's eyes, the standout yellow bit, and the characters stand out from the background of this very greenish beige and grey. The characters are the bold part. Hang on, what did you say? Yeah, the background doesn't have details. Yeah, but it's not only that it doesn't have details. You could put a pattern, like, in this area, and it would still stand out if you follow the design philosophy of it being muted and low saturation, low anything. So bad at talking. As long as the characters stand out from the background, you've done your job. In this very tiny, like, less than a second long shot, you've done the job of the shot by making your characters stand out from the background and having the characters' designs naturally draw your eyes to the places that you want your audience's eyes to go, which is to their faces. And same here, your eyes are naturally there. It's so short. There, yeah. Eyes are naturally drawn to the pink in Ren's hair and the orange in Nora's hair, which naturally draws you to their faces, because you often want the face to be where your audience is looking. And obviously you can change your design to be different in that. Like, you can have the standout parts of your character's design be on the hands. If you want your audience to look at your character's hands, you make the standout part of your character's design on the hands. And yeah, so your eyes are naturally drawn to her face because it's the brightest part on her dark design, or to her shoulders, because and then that naturally draws you to her eyes. But it also is supposed to draw you to her cloak, because her cloak is the standout part of her design. Same with Yang. The purple in her mostly yellow and brown themed design draws you to her face, and the hair, which is the main part of the standout feature of her design, at least pre-Volume 4. Yeah, very, very simple. Like, and the same with Pyrrha and Jean. The red is, I know I'm harping on this, but it's so well done. It is so well done. The red, the kind of the maple red is pinkish red is what stands out about her hair. So it draws you to her hair, which draws you to her face, and the same with Jean. The yellow is the standout part of his design. It draws you. Also the orange, so that when he's in fight scenes, your eyes are drawn to his wrist, which draws your eyes to his weapon. So it naturally conveys the visual information to the audience. And to move away from the characters and to the Nevermore, which is the big crow. No, it's a raven, because it's Nevermore. You can see you can see the contrast with the pure white, at least on this. Okay, slightly bluish on my laptop, but white on my TV screen. You can see the contrast between the very, very bright sky and the light grey further away background and the black Nevermore. It's the standout part of this scene, and you can see here, yeah, you can see it circling overhead, and even before the camera zooms in on it, it's so good. Cinematography, character design, and environment design need to be synergetic for you to create an effective project and an effective scene. You need them to synergize. You need them to all work in tandem to be able to convey the thing that you want to convey. I think the lack of detail in Ruby's earlier scenes worked in its favours because it allows you to focus on the bright colours of the characters and easily follow them during fights. Exactly, yes. That's also true of the even slightly more detailed environments, like in the city in episode 1, when Ruby fights the thugs and fights Torchwick for the first time. Even then, even though there is more detail on the buildings than there are in this fight scene with the Nevermore, and the Deathstalker and the Nevermore, it still has such little detail that it doesn't distract, and such low saturation that it doesn't distract from what you're actually supposed to be looking at. God, that was a lot. Same with film, and the same principle for animation as well. Yes, exactly. And I'm sure. Oh, what's the film? Oh my God, what's the? I think it's a Hitchcock film. What is it? The crazy guy. Hitchcock. Fuck. Oh no. It's not Psycho. Shit. Oh, that's a really good scene with him on the steps, and his shadow is cast over the white steps. His pure black shadow is cast over the white steps. Oh. Strangers on a Train. That's the one. That's what I'm thinking of. Even though it's a black and white film, and so it naturally has a very limited. That's the one. There he is. It's not his shadow. It's him. It's him. It's his silhouette. They have a very limited limited resources because they're working in black and white. They're not allowed to use color, so the only colors that they can use are black, white, and different shades of grey. And look at this. This is glorious. This is a glorious shot. It's so brilliant. And there's the one of him with the pillars in the museum. I think it was a museum. It's been so long since I've seen this film. But God, it's so good. And it follows the exact same principle. I'll get back to that shot. Where are you? It is the museum, right? Oh yeah, and there's the scene where he has the bars. No, it's not prison bars. It's the gate. It's the bars of the gate, which cast a shadow over his face like prison bars. God, it's so, and this shot is beautiful. This, so much about this film is just amazing. I could go on for ages. If I'd watched this film just prior to the stream, and if it was fresh in my memory, I could go on for ages just about this film, God, it's so good. But it's and because that anyway, this shot I can't find the shot. I can't find the shot that I was looking for. But basically, the main character and the main villain are standing. I'm pretty sure it's in a museum. But one of them is standing next to a pillar, and the two have like they're standing facing each other, and behind one of the characters is a black pillar, and behind the other character is the open room. So it splits the screen. It splits the shot, so that one character is surrounded by darkness and cold stone, and the other one is surrounded by light and openness in the open room. It's such a brilliant shot that I can't bloody find. Maybe if I just pillars. Well, now I'm gonna get loads of the same shot that I already have. But it was so. Yeah. Oh, it's so good. Such a good movie. I need to. I'm probably gonna rewatch it after the stream. Yeah, it's this this scene, but where is the actual shot that I'm looking for? I don't know. But anyway, the villain has this kind of pillar behind him, so it's this black marble behind him, and the main character has the open hall behind him. So, yeah. Anyway, so yeah, I already explained it. Psycho also utilizes black and white really well. I need to watch Psycho. I haven't watched Psycho. I know it's a classic. I know I really need to, but I haven't. Contrast is even more important in black and white because it's all you have. Exactly. Yes, that's what I was going to say. Your eyes immediately are drawn again to the figure in the middle in pure black against the pure white. Oh, it's so good. I'm actually like clasping my hands together as if in prayer, in praise of this shot. God, it's so good, and the composition, it's glorious. Watch Strangers on a Train is what I'm trying to say. Watch it. It's so good. But what I'm trying to get at is that the principles that I'm talking about of the use of color and of contrast, specifically contrast, are universal. They apply to everything from environment design to animated fights like this, to cinematography and shot composition, to music in like the use of high and low, and use of fast and slow, use of loud and quiet. Use contrast is what I'm trying to get at. Anyway, yeah. Again, hang on. I'll go back a bit. You can see everyone's place on the bridge, and you can see the Deathstalker and everything. The contrast of the contrast. Contrast is the key word. Contrast is the key word. Contrast of the darker grey bridge against the lighter grey, then the misty chasm beneath, and we can see. God, it's so good. This shot is really good as well, because this is really close. You can see the destination that the main characters, that our heroes, are running for. You can see what they're running from. You can see the path. Everything, every key aspect, every part of this shot, every part of the journey that our characters are making, even this short journey from point A to point B, is communicated in this short shot, from scary monster running across bridge to castle on the other side of the bridge. Everything is communicated in this very short shot, and then we see the big bird coming in, and boom, everything is communicated with the cinematography and with the characters. Everything is communicated by having the character design, the environment design, and the cinematography synergize. Everything you need, all of the information that you want to communicate to your audience, is communicated by having these aspects of the production work in tandem and work together. because frankly, Monteum is a choreography god. not just an animation god, but it would be one thing if it was just well choreographed. It would be one thing if just the fight scenes were really good in a vacuum. It would be one thing, like if like you see a lot of animation tests on YouTube of people showing off like animation reels and stuff, and they're often really well done. But they're often like just a few seconds long, and they don't communicate a story. They don't communicate a story, but they do communicate a fight scene, and they do the fight scene really well. And that's what choreography is. It's a really well done, really well done fight scene. RWBY didn't just do really good fight scenes. It does really good scenes and really good visual storytelling with its use of cinematography, character design, and environment design. He knew the flow of action. Yes, that's another thing. Yeah. God, I'm talking so fast and so much because there's so much I want to say. In like, it's not that like I have a time limit. It's that so many things that I want to say are all kind of clamoring for attention in my mouth. You probably heard that. Oh, that was me taking just a massive gulp. Oh, anyway. But yeah, again, this is very simple with the pale white drop into the abyss and the dark grey bridge and the characters. It's really simple, but really effective. And Concord fails at everything. I should get back to Concord, shouldn't I? Oh yeah, and that's another thing. Like, that's as a side note, character and choreography are synergetic as well. Or in a good story, character and choreography are synergetic. That's something that yes, Star Wars. The Star Wars. No, I won't. No. Okay, no. I'll probably have to pull up clips of like the Clone Wars or of Attack of the Clones or something to say my point. But anyway, we can see with Nora, this character Nora here, the method she uses of getting from one side of the bridge to another, and her posture and her what am I talking about? Her posture and body language, using the leverage of slamming the part of the bridge down to yeet Jean across the bridge as well with her, and then the way she stands on her hammer, and the kind of the covering her eyes from the sun pose that she pulls, it conveys a lot about her personality in action, and that's something that a lot of people miss out on, or a lot of people don't really think of doing or don't utilize as much as they really should. Character should be communicated in the way that people fight and the way that people move, because body language and convey body language in choreography is what I'm trying to say. That's a bit of a side note. Oh, that shot was so good. That just there, Blake slashing at the Nevermore, jumping down, immediately goes into Ruby's cloak. Amazing. Like you said, the flow of action is perfect from shot to shot, from action to action. It is fantastic. Can you tell how much I miss old Ruby? Can you tell that this was one of my favorite shows? You never get stuff like this from new Ruby. God, it's so good. It's so good. And then like all the colours of everyone shooting all at once, and the colours being bombastic and big and dynamic, and then everyone again, this is another thing, you can see everyone, even though so much is happening on screen. You can see, even if you blur your vision, or even if you're watching it on a crappy TV like I am, you can see everyone's placement in this action sequence. Even though there's so much going on, And some character is shown here. You can see um, Blake being kind of a ninja. You can see Yang literally punching her way to the top, Weiss being poised and graceful, and Ruby kind of just again shooting. Yeah, and like this little flick here, like the yeah. Watch Weiss, the white hair character, the jump. Hang on, that twirl in the air, and then the little flick of the sword. That is such a small detail. There was no need. There was no need to include that, but they did, and it conveys so much character in this tiny just flick of the sword. This tiny flick, twirl, land, flick. It is so good. It is so good. It is so good. I cannot possibly praise old Ruby enough or enthusiastically enough. Jesus Christ. God, it's so brilliant. Anyway. Whew, back to Concord. I've only got through one Concord character, and bloody hell. I'm going to take a break, because I just downed all of my water, and I've been ranting for... How long have I been ranting? An hour and 25 minutes, bloody hell. Meanwhile, in Concord, the character likes hot sauce. That makes him different. Really? Oh my god. Look at the first cinematic trailer. Almost all of them are the same. All of them talk the same, etc. Oh, should I do it? Should I do when I figure out how to play audio from videos on YouTube on the stream? I might talk about like millennial humor, or like giving your character a voice. That's another thing. Okay, I'll talk on that. No, I'll talk about giving your character a voice when I come back, and I will use Ruby as an example again. I'm going to grab some water. I'm gonna maybe... No, I won't make myself coffee. That'll take too long. Okay, I'm gonna quickly run and get some water. So I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. Um, yeah. I think the other key word, apart from contrast, is everyone here, or has everyone gone? Looks like you had Yondu from. I don't know what GOTG is, but okay, I'll say what I was going to say. I think the hello. I think the operative word apart from contrast is identity in your design and in your design philosophy when it comes to not just visual design but in game design, since we're talking about games, and in cinematography style and in writing style. Identity is a key word. Oh, Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah, that makes sense. Because a big part of what Ruby lost post Volume 3 is its visual identity in its low poly kind of low budget low poly. You could say low quality, but I would say stylized. It lost its stylized visual identity, not just in its fight scenes. Even if the fight scenes had stayed god tier, it would have lost something special. It has lost something special about it in its shift from the first 3 volumes into the style that they would go forward with in Volume 4 and onwards. It lost a massive part of what made Ruby Ruby. It Ruby 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 Ruby. That song. Anyway, it lost Ruby Ruby Ruby. I am so fucking cringe. It lost a big part of what made it itself. It lost a big part of what made it identifiable and what made it stand out. It kind of just it very much just looks like another generic 3D anime in its current style. Whereas before, sure, you could point out like animation errors and stuff. Well, it still has animation errors in the background, and you could point out like the shadow people, the silhouette people in the crowds, and you could point out that sometimes the faces kind of look weird, and sometimes the comedy was kind of fell flat. Sometimes like the hands look weird in close up shots, but they look weird now. Still, you could spend all day pointing out animation errors and the ways like it looks weird or kind of poorly done. But it's still Ruby. It still has its visual identity, which it lost in its move from in its change from style between volumes 3 and 4. And visual style is what people not just visual style, but since we're talking about games, or we're supposed to be talking about games, gameplay style is kind of what people come to you for. And a big part of what is wrong with Concord is that it doesn't have its own identity. It doesn't have... I use the word cohesion a lot, and it doesn't have any cohesive vision that it's going for, but it also doesn't have a... I think identity really is the best word. It doesn't have something that holds it all together. All of the characters look like NPCs from different games. So like this one looks like it looks hideous, but she looks like an NPC from Cyberpunk. This looks like a fucking grotesque NPC from like what's Starfield, I think is the new Bethesda game. But she could also be like a Cyberpunk NPC that you walk past in the street. The fucking bin, like an office bin on her head. What the fuck? If you took that off, she could be like a random like new, I don't know, Fallout NPC or something. This is the only character who actually like has something to her. Like this, well, she's the only character who looks like a character. She's the only character who kind of stands out and actually looks like she could be part of a main cast. She's the only okay, I'll take back what I said about the bin droid. This old lady is also like, she's not offensively ugly. Her design is not offensively hideous. there is actually something to her, like that they actually kind of, I won't say that they cooked, but she looks like a character, and she's not offensively hideous. Like she has the gold hands, which kind of draw your eyes to them. The grey cloak does diminish it because it kind of blends with the hair. The shoulder cloak should be kind of like blue or something like maybe a dark blue or a pale blue to match the purple. But the purple and the gold. Purple and gold is a very good color combination. Purple, gold, and white hair, and then there's the gold eyeshadow. This is actually all right. I don't mind this, but she still looks like an NPC. She looks like a main character, but an NPC like Seer from Fallen Order, and then you do get to play her a bit in Jedi Survivor, but she's still mainly an NPC. She looks like she could be a mentor NPC in a cyberpunk-y kind of open world sci-fi game. So she's not utterly grotesque. This is the nice thing. No, this is an all right design. I give it a passing grade, and it actually it is memorable enough with the gold eyeshadow that actually does stand out. That does kind of stick in the brain, so it does its job, and it isn't grotesque. I would say this is actually the best design of all of them, with the bin, purely based on the fact that it looks like a character and not it doesn't look like a background character. It looks like a character who's part of a main cast. Whereas the bin droid, again, passing grade if we're talking about grading based on background character standards. Where was I going with this? Yeah, and this, oh god, she's so bloody ugly. If she had a visor, she would look fine. But she does the blue lip. Compare these two with the gold makeup, with the gold eyeshadow. It looks actually kind of all right. It looks kind of mysterious and kind of, it gives a sense of what the character is. The blue lipstick makes her look like a cunt. She looks insufferable. She looks awful. She looks grotesque. I hate, and oh my god. Okay, you will not make me hate. Concord will never make me hate lipstick. Kirari, my queen, my heart, my wife. Concord will never take blue lipstick away from me, because I will always have Kirari. She will always be my heart. My heart belongs to my blue-lipped queen. You will never make me no matter how hard. It's dark blue as well. Dark blue. Why would you make your Why do you make your lips dark blue? What is wrong with you? You will never make me hate pale blue lipstick, because Kirari is just, God, I love Kirari. How is there not more Rule 34 of her? I'm so pissed off. I love her. Oh god, Kirari is so good. Like they cooked so hard with this design. Okay, yeah, let's actually talk about Kirari. Let's talk about Kirari's design and why it's so amazing. So I'll use this because this is a really good fan art. It's what I said before, that it's okay. In a lot of school anime, you're working within certain restrictions because all of your characters need to have either the same outfit or variations of the same outfit. So you need, if they spend all their time in the school, and if we never get any scenes, like in Kakegurui, I think all the characters have, apart from in the tournament arc in season 2. When are we getting season 3 of Kakegurui? I am so mad that it finished on a cliffhanger. Don't get me started. I'm getting sidetracked. Jesus Christ. With a lot of school anime, because all of your characters work with either the same school uniform or variations of the school uniform, like some like if they're girls, like one character will have knee socks, another will have white socks, another will have like thigh highs, like that, and that's usually the the most variation you get with or different color ribbons or different number of buttons buttoned up. And the guys usually don't get any variation. They always have the same uniform. Or like maybe one of them won't wear a tie or will have the buttons undone. That's the most that the guys get. So that's a massive restriction on the variety of design that you can have. So you have to focus all of your design efforts in the face, or in the face and in the hair. And they cooked so bloody hard with Kirari. I love this hairstyle. I love the ring braids. There's the other girl, the vampire girl. I haven't seen her anime, but but she has the same hairstyle. I adore this hairstyle because it's similar to what I said in that other stream about the sorceress with the gap tooth. Completely generic design, apart from that, like simple, beautiful, seductress sorceress design, but she has a gap tooth, and that makes it stick in your brain. It's contrast. It's different from the baseline. A baseline is set for the generic character design, and then boom, something sticks out of the baseline that has been set, of the mold that has been set, by giving your character something different, something out there, like a gap tooth, like freckles, or like ring braids and not purple, and pale blue lipstick. Holy moly, it is so good. And it sticks in your brain, and not only is it good looking, not only is it attractive and thus making you want it to stick in your brain, you want it to take up mental shelf space, but it also naturally does by virtue of it being out there and being different. These two aspects are what I would say really make Kirari, made them cook with Kirari's design, that the aspects of her design that are distinct to her are out there and stick in your brain naturally, but she is also attractive and also just important, and it makes you want her design to stick in your head. That's what makes it not just a good design, but an effective design. It's what makes it do its purpose. It makes it fulfill its job, which is to stick in your brain. Because what the developers of Concord and what the critics of a lot of anime and what the critics of a lot, or critics in air quotes, and what the critics of a lot of like Marvel Rivals and such, what they don't get is that, and the critics of like sexualized characters, that's going to be another stream, but I'll mention it here. What they don't get is that character design is not just what people are looking at, it's also advertising. Especially in the age of fan art on the internet and of Rule 34, it's having your characters be nice to look at and having your characters be designed in such a way that inspires people to draw them, or inspires people to make their own fan art or fan comics or fan edits of them. Being good looking is imperative in the modern age. Like, think of Genshin Impact, or Honkai Star Rail, or Zenless Zone Zero. Maybe Zenless Zone Zero, like that does look kind of fun, but if Genshin Impact wasn't allowed to have fan artists, if there were no Genshin Impact fan artists or Rule 34 artists, Genshin Impact would have failed. Like, it would not have made money at all. No one... There's a massive portion of Genshin Impact's fandom that have never played the games, and that's actually me. I've never played Genshin Impact, but I don't describe myself... I wouldn't describe myself as a Genshin Impact fan, though. Like, I like looking at, like, Venti. Venti is really cute, and Kaya is cute. Albedo, I'm really... Small side note. Side note in this side note in this side note. Elbow... Albedo. I'm so fucking stupid. my thoughts were so fast. My brain is so fast that my mouth can't keep up, and I accidentally called Albedo elbow. Anyway. Oh, what the fuck? Anyway, I was gonna say, yeah, Albedo in his art versus in the game. That was supposed to be a really short thing to say. God, he looks so goddamn pretty in the art. God, like, please, just, oh, so kissable, just peak kissable man right here. Just slam me against a wall, snap my goddamn spine. But then here, he looks like a potato. He looks like a potato toddler. What the fuck happened? Like that is a travesty. Anyway, I have people in chat. Sex sells, as they say. It is not just that is true, but it is not. But in the modern day, it is not just that sex sells. It is that other people will sell your work for free because of sex. Because it is not just that sex sells. It is that sex makes other people sell your thing for you. You don't even have to pay for advertising. Like, as I got sidetracked, but I was going to say Genshin Impact would, like, I would be willing to bet that Genshin Impact wouldn't be a successful game if there weren't fan artists actively promoting the game for free. Not even just erotic artists, but like general artists that you find on Pinterest or something. It wouldn't be a successful game. So many people have found Genshin Impact or other games like it purely through fan art, and not just erotic fan art, but just fan art that they just find. And that's one of the things that make your design really important. Sorry, I blacked out there. That's one of the things that makes design and your design philosophy and your aesthetic and your work's identity really important, because that is not only what you're selling, but it is what your audience is selling to your potential audience. You know, it ripples outwards. It's a perpetual feedback loop. How many more metaphors can I give? God. Anyway. God, she's so hot. Yeah. I was gonna say this. What her name is Imari. That is literally fucking AI generated. That I do not believe that a person named this character Emari, Emari. I don't believe you. That you absolutely use ChatGPT or something for the names. Like, what are the other characters' names? Duchess. Okay, like, fine. That's her name. De Veers. Hang on. Can you actually see what their names are? No, I've cropped it. Hang on. There. Alt. No. Why does it? Oh no, I used the wrong keyboard. I used my laptop keyboard to uncrop for OBS on my PC, because I am a broken creature. Okay. Yeah. Her name is De Veers. No one. No. I don't believe you. I don't believe you. No, you used AI to name this character De Veers. Door. Her fucking name is Door. What the fuck? What the fuck? Scuff King. Yeah, that's me. Hey guys, what did the developers of Concord say when they saw their numbers compared to Marvel Rivals? Door. Oh, fuck you. Fuck you, door. Door. Stupid fucking... Shut the fuck up, door, and your made up name. Door, man. Hey gang, what should we name our not May character? Door, I don't know. This is the funniest fucking stream ever. This is the funniest. Why? Okay, like, Jesus Christ. Okay, when you're making a character, at least when I'm making a character, there is some level of realness to the character that you're making there. To you, or okay, I'll talk about me. I won't talk about you. But to me, there is some level of realness to the characters that I make. They're not just characters, even though I know consciously they are just characters in my head or characters on my page. To me, they are more than that. There is some level of them existing. So, as proper people to me, on some level. Obviously not enough for me not to fucking torture them relentlessly, but enough that they are more than inanimate objects, at least to me. So I cannot, like, in good... I could not, in good conscience... I could subject my... I do subject my characters to horrific ordeals. I fucking have them, like, lose limbs and have their fucking eyes taken out, or lose family members, or get addicted to, like, god tree, like, fantasy crack and stuff. I could not, in good conscience, give my character a face like that, a body like that, an outfit like that, and then call them Door. I could not bring myself to subject my characters to that kind of humiliation. And I've done horrific things to my characters. Straight up All Tomorrow's-esque body horror in some cases. This is worse. This is worse than that. This is... Look at that smile. Look at that double chin. Look at those cheeks. Look at those goggles. What the fuck? And then to call them Door. Are you a psychopath? Whoever did this, what is wrong with you? Jesus, fucking sadist right here. Subjecting a fictional character and subjecting a literal, like, creation to this kind of humiliation. What the fuck? Oh my word. Insanity. It's like they tried to make a May-type character but failed miserably. Is that her role in the game? To be, is May support? May is the one in the mech, right? With the skin-tight thing? Right? Bloody fuck. Okay. Where was I? Oh yeah. Going way back, where I was going with this before I went on like 50 fucking tangents. This character, Imari, fuck you, Imari, and your made-up name. Real OGs, you know the reference. This design is horrible. Okay, I give it just under a passing grade because it is, again, quintessential background character design. If you look at the full body, fuck you, just Jesus Christ, grotesque. Oh, scrolling past so much pain. God damn it. Okay, you're useless. Sorry, Kirari, but I'm going to replace you with Imari. Fucking God. Concord Imari. Like, oh god, it's so wide, it's so horrible. Hate it. I'd give it a passing grade if the face was covered up and if it was a background character who you mowed down dozens of. This is not a main character. This is not main character energy. I don't mind tanks, and I actually love muscular female characters or buff female characters. One thing that is kind of annoying that I like safe horny and I like unsafe horny. Like the two phrases. I love them both, and I love characters that fit into both. I love Bayonetta. Oh, no, Bayonetta fits into kind of the dommy kind of thing. Okay, she doesn't really count. Who's a good example of, say, I love Eve from Stellar Blade, but I also like Lady Dimitrescu. I love both of them for different reasons, but I love them equally. There are different aspects of them that I find appealing, and I have wide buff, overly buff female characters in my own roster, but I also make them not grotesque, even when I'm not designing them sexually or with a design that isn't meant to be sexual. I still make their designs appealing. This is not appealing. Not all appealing does not necessarily mean sexual. This is not appealing in any way. There is nothing about this that is good. It is pudgy. It is bland. I described it on Twitter as visual beige, and that is exactly what this is. And if there were a dozen of them with visors as enemies in a game, like hunters but worse, I'd think nothing of it. I'd give it a passing grade if there was a visor and if you got rid of that stupid fucking flag. And if this was a background character, if they had a visor, if they got rid of the flag that's really dumb, I would give this a passing grade. Just. But this is meant to be a main character. This is meant to be a core part of the cast, and it has that grotesque mug. It has that, sorry, pardon me. It has that vile dark blue lipstick. Like this line of purple could have been good. It should be a different shape, or like a streak of paint. And there should be like a bit of purple on each. No, these purple on the shot. Why are they there? They should be down here to draw attention to the hands. What is wrong with you? Have you fucking read a book? Have you done anything? What the fuck? How did you get hired? How did any of you get hired? Like this? No, the purple isn't even good. If there was a visor and if it was a different color, your eye would naturally be drawn to the visor, like with Master Chief. Yeah, I actually prepared this. This is someone. Follow me on Twitter. Someone posted this picture of the original Master Chief and with the caption "Simply Iconic," which is true. And I actually broke it down. Enough detail to be interesting, but simple enough to efficiently take up mental shelf space, and good-looking enough for people to want it to take up mental shelf space. Simply perfect. Easily breaks down exactly what the components of what made this design work in the purely mechanical sense. This is why the design works, and it's actually a really good thing to compare to this character because they're both kind of soldier types and they have similar color schemes and similar roles, both being kind of tanky soldiers. What are you saying? It's weird to remember that these devs worked for Bungie before making this crap. They know better. I don't know what the fuck happened. Really? That is sad. The only thing Amari's tanking is multiple buffets worth of food. Yeah, Amari's got the build of a Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. The Met Girl is deviate. Yeah, I knew. I knew. Yeah, I thought so. But these are because you can see exactly where one succeeds and the other one fails. with Amari, these bits in between the armor should be darker. They should be. What is going on here and here? What are these like tumors in her joints? What is that? What are these like? You see when you're walking around the street, like there are these like metal tubes and things that people put crack in, and people smoke crack out of. I think that's what they're for, but they're for some kind of drugs, and they look like these. What are they? What are they for? Are they ammo? Where's the ammo for her gun? Why isn't there like a string of Gatling gun rounds on her belt? What's going on? What is this belt? What is this? This isn't a. you can hear me fucking deteriorating looking at this in greater detail. What are these? What are these? What is going on? There is so much noise. There is so much visual noise. There's so much pointless detail on the design in the between the armor, when the armor should be what you're drawing, what you're focused on, because it's a tank. So you're supposed to be looking at the armor. The tank is supposed to be the part that like the main point, with standout parts of it being the aspects that identify it as that character. They did the exact opposite. They did the opposite of what they're supposed to do. There is nothing about this design that is. I'm covering my eyes because it hurts to look at it. Not just because I'm like 2 feet away from a TV. It's actively like it's dealing psychic damage. The design is that bad. They did the exact opposite of what they're supposed to do in this design. They put all the detail into the joints between the armor, which is supposed to just be like dark leather or something, like with Master Chief. It's completely black, a black bodysuit between the armor. It's so good. It's lovely. So that you look. Contrast. Use contrast, please. Oh my fucking god. And then, God, I'm fucking dying. I hate this. I hate this so much. I hate this. None of it is functional. The only functional parts are the main chest plate, the shoulders, and the helmet. But then the helmet isn't even functional because her fucking face is showing. The rest of it isn't functional. Okay, like this bit, like maybe sure, but is this armor? Is this armor? Is this armor? Is this that's sword of armor? You could easily get a sword in there or in there, or if someone else has a gun, like you're dead. Like your entire pelvis is exposed, your forearms are exposed. You can't use your forearms as shields like most like power armor people do. Like they cover their face with their forearms. You can't do that. Is this even armored? Why does she have tumors on her elbows? This is horrible. This fails on every possible level. And it looks intentional. It looks like it's intentionally bad. What the fuck? Oh, and let me go from that to that. And oh, it's so lovely. But where am I? Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Oh, she's so fucking ugly. There's nothing appealing about it, and it's like they intentionally went like they did everything wrong, and even the parts that work, the very few parts that work, even if you fixed it, it wouldn't be a main character. It would be a background character that you beat like squads of. Okay, fine, whatever. Again, she looks like a quest giver NPC. She looks like she would send you to get like 10 of X item in the wilderness, and like you increase your favor with her. Like she looks like that kind of cyberpunk NPC. Very, very Bethesda. There's something in the pink, but there's not enough. Okay, it's not hideous. Again, it works as an NPC, but it's not hero shooter material. She looks like a Mass Effect NPC. Yes, that's a much better example than Cyberpunk. But yeah, or Outriders, if any of you remember that. Oh my god. Again, like I said before, the heroes are supposed to be the stand-up part of the hero shooter. These aren't heroes. We're playing a hero shooter out of background characters. And it's like they don't even realise it. Like they made multiple cinematic trailers showing off characters that haven't been put in the game yet. They thought this would work. They thought people would like this. What's her name, by the way? Haymar. 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 Oh, what the fuck? It's just a plague of AI generated names. This is the future that we have to look forward to, by the way. A plague, just sludge. Even people who don't use AI for visuals, they're going to use AI for names. Dear fucking Lord. Dear God. God, it's depressing. I don't even want to comment. I don't even want to comment on this. I don't want to talk about this anymore. She looks like a that Guardians of the Galaxy game that came out semi recently. She looks like an NPC from that game. That's it. Like, she's ugly. That's all. Like, what do you want me to say? What do you want me to say about this? It's a mess of disjointed colors, like orange straps here and orange belt, purple hair but slightly more pinkish at the end, green face, green lower face and hands, lighter green on the rest of the elf ears, that some pattern on her shirt, and then this color, kind of desaturated pink trousers, belt, okay, and then an SMG, okay, and then like the Skyrim high elf face. No, Morrowind high elf face. What the fuck? What do you want me to say? The blunt bangs and the get a haircut. It's so bad. It's so wrong. It's so ugly. Going from Master Chief, Ruby, and Kirari to this. It's whiplash. I have whiplash. Oh my shit. Oh my shitting lord. Okay. Everything about this is it's boring. It's absolutely AI generated. I hate it. Everything about it is awful. It is. Designs like this are why they fear AI. No, I fucking hate AI. It's why they fear AI. It's why non-artists fear AI. But the reasons why the rest of us fear AI is because it's fucking literally dystopian. Okay, no, I'm not going to get into it. I'm not going to get sucked into that vortex of insanity. I'm not going to rant for fucking 5 hours about like the sheer fucking brain dead retards who use AI. I'm not going to go into how AI is literally just gooning with extra steps, but in the artistic sense. I'm not going to talk about any of that. Don't suck me into that. Don't lead me down that road. I'm not in the mood. I'm already in a bad mood. I'm not in the mood for talking about fucking AI. If someone told me this was Marvel's new sex swap Green Goblin, I'd believe it. Yeah. God, I hate this. Next. I don't want to do this anymore. I want to stop. I want to go to bed. No, next. Rick and Morty. It just gets worse. It just gets worse the longer I go on. The further I go, it just gets worse and worse. Again, this is a very Guardians of the Galaxy. Like you'd fight like 5 of them with different weapons, like in a Guardians of the Galaxy game. In a bad Guardians of the Galaxy game. I don't care. I don't care anymore. What are you trying to say? What are you trying to convey with this character design? What are you trying to tell me about the story, about the themes, about the character, about the world building, about anything? What are you trying to do? What are you trying to do apart from convey your lack of ability to design characters? A part of effective character design is giving, in outfit design, is giving your characters clothes that that character would wear, and people can believe that that character would that character would wear. That's one of the very, very few legitimate problems with sexualized character designs, getting you to believe that the character would choose to wear that. But even then, it can often be very easily justified or waved away because you're not supposed to take it seriously. But I'll get to that in the sexualization stream. But a big part of other character design is of character design in general is getting the audience to believe that your character would choose to wear whatever you're having them wear. No one would choose to wear this. No one would choose to wear like a deflated life jacket vest over a t-shirt. Like deflated sausage meat. Used condom over orange over a t-shirt. Like, no. Next. Okay, take your helmet off and give it to her. Boom, fixed. Fixed both designs. Like, this is insulting. This is... Sorry, I'm getting lost because fandom... Even on my massive PC, fandom is so buggy and so scuffed. Like, and that's me. That's coming from me. It still takes forever to load from slide to slide, even when it doesn't brick my PC. This is... Again, like what I said... what are you saying? The pink one earlier looked like if a retard design Killer Queen. Who's Killer Queen? Who's Clabber? Oh yeah. Oh, I need to watch JoJo. I need to watch JoJo. But that actually does fit into one of the things I was saying before about having a visual identity. You can always tell at a glance that something is from JoJo, or something is inspired by JoJo, or something's referencing JoJo. You can always tell because JoJo has such a strong identity. It has such a strong sense of self and such a strong visual identity that it sticks with you and you can always see it. Concord has nothing. Concord is ugly. It is a hideous failure. And this goes back to what I was going to say, what I said in the previous guy. I don't believe you. I don't believe that this character would choose to wear a skin-tight bodysuit and then a giant helmet. And she would use a rocket launcher. That thing is going to snap her arm off. And her head, like, she's always going to be top heavy. how can you maneuver? How can you move? I'm not gonna ask how can you see, because there's probably some like sci-fi thing, like you don't need an actual like glass visor. There's like maybe these dots are like sensors, or there's something like sonar, or maybe she's like Daredevil or something. So I'm not that I don't mind that. The helmet on its own, if you took the helmet off her, the helmet is actually it's not good, but it's okay. It it it's good use. It's an okay use of the red against the beige and brown. Like, okay, that's the most I'm gonna say. This does not get a passing grade. This is garbage. This is okay. This is fine. This is salvageable. If 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 this guy and guys who look like him fulfill the role of brutes from Halo, that would work. That would work in a game like that. They have the red face that acts as a target that you can shoot at. It instantly identifies that as the place that you shoot at the place, the weak point that you hit for extra damage. That is good enemy design. It is not good main character design. It is not good hero shooter character design. What the fuck is wrong with you? That's the same reason why in Halo the brutes are very dark everywhere else, but have kind of pale monkey-ish faces, like their fur and armor everywhere else, but they have a brighter spot on their face to mark it out as somewhere that you shoot. This is literally a brute from Halo, but with extra. This is a brute from Halo in a Guardians of the Galaxy game. Again, they all follow the same design philosophy, the bad design philosophy of designing these characters like background characters or enemy NPCs. And it's wrong, it's bad, and it's shit. And even though that's what they're trying to do, they still manage to do it badly. What the fuck? Also, that character's name is Starchild. Does this look like a child to you? Really? Oh my god. Oh yeah, I haven't been checking the names. Hang on. Roka. Her name is Roka. Her name is Roka. Her name is Roka. What the fuck is wrong with you? Again, stop using ChatGPT for your names. Lennox. Okay, yeah, okay, that's okay. It is fine. That name is okay for a smug. I'm guessing it's a Han Solo because of the pose and the expression and the pistol. I'm guessing he's a Han Solo kind of smuggler, cocky kind of character. Lennox is an okay name for that character archetype. It's not anything to write home about, but it's not. I'm being charitable where I can. I'm doing the best. I'm being as nice as possible here. He said not even 5 minutes after calling it a hideous failure. Larg. Let's just leave. Let's just go. What was this one? What is the Rick and Morty? Kips. Her name is Kips. Her name is Kips. She looks like that, and her name is Kips. I'm losing my mind. I'm not doing this for effect. I'm actually upset. I'm actually I'm suffering. I'm not enjoying this. This is causing me mental pain. I want to go to bed. I want to drink. I'm not an alcoholic, and I very extremely rarely drink. This makes me want to take up drinking. Oh, I hate this. Oh yeah, you just got back. Yeah, we're talking about ugly. We're talking about ugly. We're basically talking about what not to do. Tio, because you took the H off Theo. Okay, yeah, that's like an Eastern European way of spelling Theo, right? Okay. Okay. What can I even say that I haven't said before? He is a rando. He is some rando. He is some random guy on the street. He is not a hero. He's not even an everyman hero. He is a random guy that you pass on the street in Starfield. I want to die. And then it's just to do with a football peasant. He looks like your average football hooligan. Is that this guy? Is that who you're talking about? Or no, 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 no. I'm done. I'm no more. There are no more, right? We're done. That's all of them. Oh, thank fuck. I'm free. I'm finally free. I'm done. I'm done with this. I don't have to look at it anymore. I'm free. I'm free. I'm free. Jesus Christ. That was a chore. This is not a stream anymore. This is a chore. This is a chore for me. This is not fun. This is not fun to do anymore. This is not enjoyable. I was having so much fun talking about Strangers on a Train and RWBY. Oh god, get off my screen right now. Go away. Oh thank god, something that has. Oh my word. I was having so much fun before. I was having so much fun talking about that fight scene and the sorry, I'll look at chat. I was having so much fun watching that RWBY fight scene and talking about RWBY and talking about Strangers on a Train and talking about other stuff and talking about like Master Chief and talking about good things. I was having so much fun, and now I feel dead. I don't feel good. I feel sad. I feel unhappy. I feel tired. Talking about this has genuinely upset me, and I think a part of it is that every opportunity wasted, every dollar spent on Concord and things like it, every dollar, every pound, every penny spent on Concord or the Acolyte or whatever dreck, whatever the most recent offering from the gods of slop have been splattered across your screen this week is money that didn't go to someone who deserves it. And I'm not even talking about me. I don't expect anything. I don't expect anyone to come to me with money to pitch like a show, even though I could do it. Even though I've literally planned out 3-season long anime and stuff that I have written down on my computer that I could pitch to a studio and literally make immediately. Everything's worked out, scene by scene breakdown of the stories that I've made. Even though I could do that, I don't expect any of that, and I'm not asking for any of that. What I'm asking for is for other people who deserve to have their visions come to life on screen to get the opportunity instead of people who don't deserve it. Like the people behind Concord or fucking Leslie Headland or the fucking Spider-Man thing. $2 million game. $2 million game. 200 million? I misread that. 200 million. My throat hurts. Need to stay hydrated. Oh, fuck. 200 fucking million. 200 fucking million. Fucking hell. I actually worked out the numbers. I've forgotten what it was, but I figured out the numbers. I compared the amount of money that was spent on. I think it was Multiverse of Madness. I took the amount of money that was burned on that piece of garbage film and worked out how many labyrinths you could make, accounting for inflation. I worked out how many films with the budget of Labyrinth, that god tier film, cultural ultimate film Labyrinth. I took the budget of Multiverse of Madness and accounted for inflation and figured out how many Labyrinth budget level films you could make with the budget of Multiverse of Madness. I've forgotten what it was, but it was loads. And then I worked out how many lower budget films you could make, and oh my god, it's so much waste. That South Park episode with Starvin Marvin, They adopt an, I think, Ethiopian child, and he comes to America and sees them eat, and he's literally like anorexic. He's literally malnourished, and he sees the main cast of South Park at this restaurant, and they eat like the skin off the chicken and throw away the chicken leg with still like loads of meat and stuff, and like it's so wasteful. This is what it's like. I am Starvin' Marvin. All artists who are just kind of independent, or will never break out into the mainstream scene. All of us are Starvin' Marvin, watching Disney and Sony and whoever the fuck else, all these goddamn like gormless retards, pissing money away for nothing. This is what it's like. This is like the mood. I realize that there might be a good side to bad games. They inspire to do better. That is the only silver lining, that it. I guess it's encouraging that no matter how bad I get, no matter how dissatisfied, because I'm always dissatisfied with my work. I'm never satisfied. I'm never happy with the way that it is. I always think it could be better. But at least with Concord, it's like seeing a fat guy on the street. You can always think, "Oh God, he's fat. He's disgusting." You don't want to look at him. You kind of want them to be like kept away. You don't want them in public view. But they but they serve a purpose. They remind us all that we could all do worse. Oh fuck. Oh Lord. I I'm sad. I'm sad now. Okay, I'm gonna get some water again. I'm gonna put up the like notepad again to say, um, oh, I'm in a bad mood now. um, oh yeah, it's okay. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna turn the mic off. I'll be right back. I feel like someone might misunderstand me and what's that? Yeah, I know what live chat is, but I don't know why YouTube is telling me that now. But I feel like someone might misunderstand me and think that I'm saying that I should get that kind of money to make something, but I'm not. I've entirely made peace with the fact that I will never get a budget bigger than like pocket lint and an empty Twix packet. I I mean, I've made peace with that, and that's kind of a good thing because the main thing I want to make is inspired by uh, Ruby volumes 1 to 3 and Stickman animations. So I've intentionally made the art style very easy, stylized in such a way that it can easily be done with a very small budget, um, similar to Ruby and Stick. Yeah. Um, so I'm not saying that I should get that, even though like, I could literally like go into like pre-production like tomorrow. um, if I was allowed to make like an adaptation of something I've already written, I could literally like start production tomorrow. Like get me a writer's room and like to hash out the actual like scene for scene, like line for line bits. But yeah, I could start tomorrow, guys. Even though that is the case, I'm not saying that I should get anything. What I'm saying is that someone else should. Someone else deserves a break. Someone else deserves either like to have their book um, book adapted into like an animated adaptation or a film adaptation or something, or I don't know, just someone other than me needs to be given a chance that could be given to them with a fraction of the $200 million that were burned on Concord. It is we can it's good to joke. It's fun to joke, and it is fun and it is good to joke and laugh at garbage, but we can miss the actual tragedy, the actual. I'm not exaggerating here. The actual tragedy of this $200 million being wasted, and the work of the like the programmers and the 3D people and the animators and the people the people who do the grunt work. Like people defended Velma, that piece of shit show, Velma, because parts of it were really admittedly really well animated, and people defended its cancel, or tried to say you were a bad person for cheering on its cancellation that it deserved because it'll put people out of work, which is a good point when talking about their jobs, but it's not a good point when talking about the entire picture. Is it worth it to keep everyone's jobs if everyone's jobs is working on fucking Velma? Is that what you got into the animation industry for? Is that what you want your life's work to be? Like maybe like as a thing to get by until you get into better stuff, until you get hired for something better. But no, that's not a defense. That's not a defense of Velma. It's not a good reason to allow Velma to exist. People having jobs is not a good enough reason to justify Velma. it's the opposite. It is more of a reason to fucking annihilate and burn Velma at the stake so that we can put those animators to work on something that's actually worthwhile. Like, imagine if that was your job. Imagine if you went to animation school and you actually learned something, unlike me. And imagine if you spent your whole life striving for the goal of working in the animation industry, and your job for your entire life is Velma, and is shit like Velma because people kept defending it because you can't cancel it because people will lose their jobs. Imagine if that was your fate. Holy God. that is literally like the fucking 10th circle of hell. 11th circle is playing Concord. Or talking about Concord for like 10 more fucking seconds. God, Jesus fucking Christ. I remember people were sad about the Acolyte being cancelled on Smilo Ren's birthday, and that he was sad that he was out of a show, and I was like, dude, you're free, go be in better movies. Yeah, actually, Asian Ezra Miller, the guy who plays Smilo Ren. I know it's a meme to say Smilo Ren, but I have actually forgot his character's name. Forget it, just Smilo Ren works. He could actually... The show didn't allow him to demonstrate his acting chops, so I won't say that he's a good or a bad actor. He wasn't allowed to emote or show any kind of range. If you want to imagine the future, imagine a Concord-sized boot stomping on a gamer's face forever. Yeah, exactly. But he and the guy who plays Sol came off the most favorably in that show. Like Squid Game. I don't know his name, but Sol, the guy from Squid Game, he's going to be fine. He's still going to go on to do. He's going to go on to do great things, and the fact he learned English for the Acolyte, that is such a goddamn insult to him, to the effort that he put in, but also to like the English language. Like that's your motivation. That's your you put all that work. Jesus Christ. The Acolyte is an insult to life itself. It's embarrassing when your show's best actor doesn't speak English as his first language. Yeah, he legitimately was the best actor, but I would say that the guy who plays Chimera is his character's name. I wouldn't say he's a bad actor, but I wouldn't say he's good either, because he wasn't allowed to really show any range or any kind of really display his ability in any way. But he's good looking enough that he will be cast in other things. I'm actually kind of surprised they're not trying to do a Timothy Chalamet with him. I'm surprised they aren't trying to make him the next big thing. Like, they tried to make Ezra Miller a thing, and then he went fucking insane. Well, he was always fucking insane, but they're not trying to make Asian Ezra Miller a thing. I'm kind of surprised there, but I think he'll do fine. Amanda Stenberg is not going to do fine because she can't act and is crap and is really grating. Outside of acting, outside of the screen, she's just grating and annoying and a fucking activist. And the green woman, literal fucking nepo baby. She really puts the tism in nepotism. What's chat saying? What got destroyed worse, Star Trek or Star Wars? Ooh, that's a good. I was actually contemplating that the other day, and I think neither are unsalvageable with like a fucking holocaust of retcons and of decanonization. But that's a hard question. I think Star Trek has most consistently been bad, because with Star Wars you still get Andor, and you still get like pockets of good. You still get little flashes of something recognizable. Like, I know that the Clone Wars isn't great, but it still has something to it. And like, yeah, the Bad Batch was alright. I think Star Trek is more totally annihilated, and I think it's because they're different. Star Trek was always more philosophical, while Star Wars was always more mythological. so they're different in form, and so their destruction is more different in form. And Star Trek's destruction has been more efficiently dismantled because it's easier to dismantle an idea than it is to dismantle a myth. And yeah, I would say that neither are beyond saving, but I think Star Trek is worse off at the moment. And yeah, so yeah, I'd say Star Trek. I don't think Smiler's design did him any favors. Yeah, the mask was cringe. Have you seen Ooh, who's the guy? Who's your master if you play a Sith in the Old Republic? Now I'll look it up on the PC so you can actually see. Star Wars, the Old Republic, down. Sith Master. Okay. Players. Sith Master. Where is he? Is it Barris? Oh, him, this guy. Oh god, it's Reddit. Oh no. Fuck you. Go away. Him, this guy, Darth Barris. Yeah. He has a unique face. I do like that. What's going on? Okay, I do like that. There's a convention of giving Sith masks, but I really like this. This kind of ornate, like there's the patterns and there's the covered eye and there's the slit on the eye and there's a small mouth. It's unique and it's very him. Smilo Ren's mask, on the other hand, is cringe and creepypasta, basically. It's extra. It's not cool. It's not intimidating. It's not scary. It's not anything. It's cringe. It's cringe. That's all it is. It's cringe. It looks like someone did a Star Wars creepypasta, and it's cringe, and I don't like it, and I want it to go away. So I'm gonna go away. God, it's cringe. Yeah. Oh, Darth Revan's mask is actually like I think everyone agrees that Revan's mask that they cooked with Revan. Like, yeah, come on, that's so badass. Come on, that is excellent, gorgeous, lovely. Chef's kiss. Mwah. Kylo's mask was all right. It gave the sense of a Darth Vader cosplayer, but I think that was what they were going for, and but it still had enough of its own identity to stand out against Darth Vader. It's still its own thing. Yeah. Oh, since this is on screen, this is something I forgot to mention. This kind of detail in backgrounds in environment design is really good, because this really small detail gives kind of the sense of the ruins being really old, and so there's enough detail. I'm back to this just because it's on screen. There's enough detail in the environment to give it character and to give a sense that this is a world that's lived in, which is something that newer Ruby really fails at. But even though you're not really looking at the environment, you're looking at the fight. There's enough. The fight is, the environment has just enough detail to give it character, but not too much detail to take away from the fight, and I think that's really, really well done. I praise so much. I'm trying to cleanse my palate from talking about fucking Concord for so long. But that was another thing that I was talking about. Like her character is really displayed with her choreography, with the camera angle and the way that she's like sitting on a hammer and everything, and the use of momentum and the use of the physics. It's really good. Yeah. And then it pans over to the Nevermore, and then she's fucking shooting at it. Yeah, it's really good. Oh, and this little shot. Hang on, let me gush for a little bit more. Boom! It shoots directly into the camera, and then we follow the shot into the Nevermore's face, which sends it flying. God, it's so good. That tiny moment. This few seconds. There's so much good. There is so much. Anyway. I've talked about so much today. I was going to talk about Marvel Rivals. It's nearly 3 hours. I've been talking for nearly 3 hours. Maybe compare this Ruby fight to one of the cinematic trailers for Concord. No, absolutely fucking not. I've subjected myself to Concord long enough for one day, enough for a lifetime actually. But also I don't really know what I'd compare, because I think they're different in the kind of fight scenes that they do. I do want to do a compare modern Ruby to old Ruby, or maybe like a top 10 best and top 10 worst fights of Ruby so far, and talk about why, maybe like back to back, talk about like the 10 worst fights in the first hour of the stream, and then the 10 best fights in the second hour, to really like to cheer me up. Should I stop? Should I end the stream? I was going to talk about Marvel Rivals, but while setting up the stream, I noticed that someone already made a video comparing Concord to Marvel Rivals, but I haven't seen that video, so I'll probably be either treading ground that has already been trod, or I will say things in a worse way than the other person. Actually, that's probably already guaranteed, that I'll just say stuff that was better put in a scripted video. I feel like I'm going to get a lot of clips out of this. I haven't clipped any of my streams yet, but I need to. I need to do editing and stuff. Clips will come. Clips will arrive. I will talk about one thing that I really want to rant about. Hatred. Look at this. Look at this. This is from Ruby Volume 10, I think. Or 9, I don't fucking care anymore. But this is supposed to be a fur collar. That is a goddamn travesty. Yeah, the ceiling insulation fur. We actually talked about this yesterday, and I showed him. I showed you pictures of my art that I'm a massive fan of fur on collars and stuff for coats. But this hurts to look at. Why even have? I think I'm already out of steam. I think I'd said all I wanted to in DMs. This hurts to look at. Compare this to what I showed you with the fight scene. Everything was bombastic. Everything was dynamic. Everything was in your face. Everything was big and colourful and great. This is awful. The entire image is awful. Like the yellow sky with the yellowy beigey sky, the everything just blurs together. But the collar, the fur, really just seals the deal and makes me just hate. I came across this image on Pinterest, and I just immediately just hatred. If you're going to make fur, if you're going to put fur on a character design, make the fur poofy. Go full Cruella de Vil. Oh god, it is pure suffering. Why even have fur if you're not going to make the fur furry? Oh my word. It's a question of, again, of not having identity and not standing out. It's muted. It's desaturated, it's muted, it's neutered. This is a neutered fur collar. This is a neutered design. Everything post Volume 3 Ruby is neutered. It is not. Not only is it not Ruby, it is not itself. It is not confident. It is not sure of itself. It is not unabashedly itself. This collar should be poofy and furry and curly and really and spiky and dynamic and great, and it should serve as a contrast to her golden hair. The white collar should. Oh, it speaks to a kind of insecurity, or either insecurity or lack of care. Like, look at my hair. Look at my hair. Look at my curls. Look at how massive and over exaggerated and spiky. Like these fucking like I don't know, what's that lizard that has like bearded dragon. I only realized it after I drew it, but bearded dragon kind of spikes on the side of my face. This is bombastic. This is good. This is good design. This is nothing. I mean, this is nothing. Why? I need to put on a film. I'm probably gonna watch like Strangers on a Train after this, and then do some drawing to like undo the damage that's been done to my brain. Like it's the same here. Oh, fuck off. Desaturated, too much detail, disgusting. Like beige, white vest instead of yellow. What is wrong with you? Weird fucked up face, like weird grotesque face. Why? The poofy sleeves. Those poofy sleeves are so cute, soft. It makes use of shape. People call it shape theory, but I would say texture theory. People say to make your design out of circles, triangles, and squares. I would say to make your design out of softs, sharps, and hards. And this is a really good example of use of soft in the shoulders and soft in the hair, but then in her gauntlets when she's fighting, it's hard. Really good, really great. But then there's nothing here. Why isn't this fur like sticking out like outwards, like here and here? Why? Why isn't there character in my character design? Look at Leon's fur coat from Resident Evil. I'll put an example. Yeah, Leon Resident Evil. Yeah. This is more realistic, but it's still it's more. There is more. It feels floofy. Because partly because it's got realistic texture, but also because like it sticks out. It feels cozy. It feels poofy, and it has floof to it. It has character to it. And these are very it's quite difficult to compare Ruby to Resident Evil, because Resident Evil, the entire game, is quite desaturated. Like this whole character design is made of greys and browns, whereas all of Ruby is very colourful. But even here, it uses the same things that I was talking about. It has kind of the baseline colours, you could say. medium brown for the coat, medium grey for the trousers, and then darker black for the hands and lighter brown for the trims, and then pale for the face. So again, your eyes are drawn to the dark gloves, the silver gun, and the pale brown trims and the pale face. It still follows the same. It still follows the same, the same design philosophy, the correct design philosophy that late Ruby completely fails at, and Concord just completely decided to just ignore. What is going on here? There's too much. It's simultaneously too much and too little. It does too little colour, which, like, there was a whole speech in, I think, Volume 2 about, like, the reason why everyone's names are named after colours. What and the name is the name of the show is Red, White, Black, Yellow. Where is the colour in my colour show?